Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om. Om Akhandananda Sambodha Vandanatyasya Jayate Govindam Tamaham Vande Chidananda Tanum Gurum. So yesterday we saw Tasmatam Abhayam Nityam Kevala Ananda Lakshanam Nishkalam Nishkriyam Shantam Brahmaivasi Sadadvayam. Tasmat means concluding. Whatever we were talking about, now we are concluding that. Therefore what? Tvam, you are. What? Sada, always abhayam, fearless. Why are you fearless? Because dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. Only when there is duality, there is a possibility of fear. Since you are non-dual, there is no possibility of fear. Okay? So, what is the fear? The worst fear is a fear of death. Okay? So, fear of death. So, that fear of death is also negated by saying nityam. You are eternal. You are eternal. Therefore, there is no possibility of any fear of death also. Now, abhinivesha in Yoga Sutra, the term used for that fear of death is abhinivesha. Let me never be gone, absent, non-existent. That's the first fear everyone has. So that is not possible in you because nityam, you are eternal. Kevala Ananda Lakshanam. You are of the nature of absolute bliss. Okay? Now, Nishkalam. Devoid of any impurity. Devoid of any impurity. Then, Nishkriyam. Not just devoid of any impurity. You are Nishkalam. Devoid of any impurity or also kala, the limbs. So since there is no limbs, there is no activity possible. Therefore, he says, Nishkriyam, you are devoid of activity also. Okay? Since you are devoid of activity, then Shantam. Now, activityless means you are going to sit in. You are going to be at peace. Right? So, Shantam, you don't have to add another word called Shantam to establish the same idea. Nishkriyam means devoid of activity. Shanta means devoid of any change also. Only when there is activity, there is possibility of change. Since there is no change, you are at peace. That is the peace we are talking about. Why? Because Advayam, only when there is duality, there is possibility of all these changes. Since you are non-dual, there is no change also. Brahmaiva asitvam. You are that Brahman alone. Okay? Now, Nyatra Jnananye. He is going to, now till now he was talking about Tattvamasi. You are that, you are that. Now he is going to a different level. Nyatra Jnananye Vihinam Nyaturabhinnam Jnanamakhandam. Jneyajnetwadi Vimuktam Shuddham Buddham Tattvam Asitvam. Jnatu Jnana Jneya Vihinam Jnaturabhinnam Jnanamakhandam Jneyajnetwadi Vimuktam Shuddham Buddham Tattvam Asitvam. From here, you are going to listen to this repeatedly. Shuddham Buddham Tattvam Asitvam. Shuddham Buddham Tattvam Asitvam. Not Tattvam Asi. Tattvam means substance, truth. You are the truth. Tvam Asi. You are the truth. What kind of truth? Shuddham, pure. What kind of truth? Buddham, knowledge. Okay? Now, Nyatra Jnana Jneya Vihinam. Nyatra Jnana Jneya. Nyatru means knower. Jnana means knowledge. Jneya means object of knowledge. So, you are devoid of the trinity called knower, knowing, and object of knowledge. That means there is no knower here. Nyatu abhinnam. You are not different from the knower. You are the knower. You are not different from the knower. And then there is no knowledge. Akhandam jnanam. You are not just knowledge. You are akhandam knowledge, undivided. Akhanda means undivided, unsplit, absolute knowledge. What about the object of knowledge? You said you are devoid of knower, knowing, and object of knowledge. Now you said you are the knower. you are the knowledge. Now, are you going to also add, you are the object of knowledge also? He says, Jnaya Ajnetvad Vinuktam, you are different from, you are relieved from, you are non-associated from being the object of knowledge and not being the object of knowledge. Jnaya means object of knowledge. Ajnaya means not an object of knowledge. You are different from being object and non-object. Okay, so you are the knowledge and the knower, but you are not you have nothing to do with the object of knowledge and non-object. Okay, why? Because you are pure, Shuddham. Since you are pure, without any association with it, not object, non-object means there is no activity. Since there is no activity, there is no transformation, there is no change, you are pure. There is no limbs. Since there is no limbs, you are pure. Since you are pure, only in the as I said, only in the duality, only in the impure, there is a possibility of error, ignorance. See, if there is proper light, if there is proper eyesight, if your mind is proper, everything is proper, then you will never see the rope snake. Only if something is amiss, then you start seeing different things. So, since you are Shuddham, you are pure, there is no possibility of ignorance. That is why Buddham, you are knowledge. That truth, Tattvam, that truth, that absolute truth, you are. Tvam Asi, you are. Okay. Antah prajnatvad vikalpaihi asprishtam yattadrishi matram satta matram samarasam ekam shuddham buddham tattvamasitvam. As I said already, shuddham buddham tattvamasitvam is repeated. Okay. Antah prajnatvad vikalpaihi asprishtam yad tad drishi matram satta matram samarasam ekam shuddham buddham. Beautiful. That's not necessary. We'll take. Antah prajnatvadi vikalpaihi. Vikalpaihi, choices. Choices of what? Adi, etc. Choices. What, etc. Antah prajnatvadi. Antah prajna, etc. Choices. Didn't get it. Okay. Antaha means internal. Prajna means knowledge. Internal knowledge, etc. choices. Where I got the knowledge. I am not going to point out to any external thing and say I got the knowledge there. Knowledge does not take place outside, it takes place inside. The knowledge we refer to as that which takes place inside is a thought function. That is why in Panchapadika, he says, the author says, Panchapadika is a commentary on Brahma Sutra. There the author says, Antakarna Vritto Jnanato Upacharat. In the thought function, we are, for namesake, calling it as knowledge. There is no possibility of knowledge to the object. So, we are just giving it a name, knowledge. That's all. Okay. So, Antaha Prajna means a thought. No, wait. Antaha Prajna means internal knowledge. Internal knowledge means where do I get the internal knowledge? Without anything externally. In the dream state, that dream state is what is referred to as internal knowledge. Okay. This first, to understand this, we have to go to the Mandukya Upanishad. In Mandukya Upanishad, there is a statement, there is a mantra. Nantah pragyam na bahih pragyam na ubhayatah pragyam na pragyana ganam na pragyam na pragyam chaturtham manyante sa atma sa vigneya. Talking about the self, he says, na antah pragyam, it is not internal knowledge. Na bahish pragyam, it is not external knowledge. Na ubhayatah pragyam, it is not both knowledges. Na prajnana ganam, it is not the lump of knowledge. Ghanam, lump of knowledge. Na prajnam, it is not knowledge. Is it ignorance? Na prajnam, it is not also non-knowledge. What's it? Chaturtham, the fourth. Manyante, they accept to be fourth. Sa atma sa vigneya, that is the self that should be known. That is what the mantra says. It is not internal knowledge, it is not external knowledge, it is not both. It is not a lump of knowledge. It is not knowledge. It is not ignorance. That fourth state, which is called as Atma, is what should be understood. Okay. Now we understood the mantra, Mandukya Upanishad mantra. Now come to this. It is not internal knowledge, etc. Internal knowledge is a dream. Fourth, he said, fourth means there are three states. Now, once we said dream, we know the other three states. The Bahipragyam. Bahipragyam means external knowledge. External knowledge is waking state. So, it is neither the internal knowledge, dream state, it is nor the external knowledge, waking state. Now, Bahipragya means some in between states. Na prajnana ghanam, like the coma, etc. Let us leave it like that. Na prajnana ghanam. It is not a lump of knowledge. Where do you see the lump of knowledge? Dream state, waking state. Now the third state is a deep sleep state. That also is not there. It is not, the self is not that. So when you leave these three, chaturtham, the fourth one, which is a self. Okay, they call it Turiya Avastha, the state. Turiya means not the fourth. Normally people ignorantly think Turiya is fourth. Turiya is not fourth. Turiya means final. Okay, this fourth state is the final state here. With respect to these, we call it as a state. The self is not a state. With respect to this, it is called a state. Like from here, there, you are external. From there, here, I am external. Right? From that angle, from the three states, with reference to the three states, that is a different state, fourth state. With reference to the self, there is nothing else. There is no states. Okay? Chaturthama alone remains. That is the idea. So, antah pragyatwadi vikalpaihi. Antah pragyatwadi, the internal knowledge, etc. Means, etc. means the coma state or death, etc. Again, why am I adding extra? Okay, the dissolution of creation, etc. Why etc. again? A small dissolution, big dissolution. There is a part dissolution or the complete dissolution, etc. Again, etc. Okay, the next creation, etc. There is see, only with reference to the internal self, there is no etc. possible. With external self, you can add on etc. etc. and explain, going on. You can go on explaining things. There is no end to it, because our mind is what is producing all that. There can be no end to any of that. Okay, so he says asprishtam vikalpaihi asprishtam, with reference to all these choices of internal, external, etc. It is not associated. It is not tainted. Asprishta means tainted. It is sprishta means tainted. Asprishtam, it is not tainted by any of these choices of internal knowledge, external knowledge, etc. Yadu tadu drushi matram. That which truth is, that is drushi matram. Drushi means that which is the seer. Drik. You use the word drik, drushi, same. Okay? Seer. It is the seer alone. Seer alone means what? Seer alone means not the seeing. What do you see the objects for? For gaining the knowledge of the object, right? Seer means knowledge alone. Okay. Now, next, satta matram. You already said it is of the nature of knowledge. Now, existence. Satta matram. It is only of the nature of existence. Okay. Now, samarasam. So, existence is sticked, knowledge is sticked. Samarasam, same taste, changeless nature. Sama means equal, rasam means taste. Same taste, equal state means, let us see. Let us take a salt lump. If you put that lump of salt inside water and mix it, so it dissolves. Now, if you take a spoon of water from top, it is salty. From the middle, same salt. From the bottom, same salt. There is no change. From a sweet, from a jaggery, from center portion, same sweet. Top portion, same sweet. Bottom portion, same sweet. Right, left, everywhere is same sweet. That is how the self is, of the same nature of bliss. Existence, knowledge, bliss. All three are established. How can it be this? Ekam. Because there is no duality. Only when there is duality, there is cry. When there is no duality, there is no cry. Right? So, Ekam, it is non-dual. Shuddham Buddham, because it is one, there is no problem. That is pure. Because it is pure, it is knowledge. Because it is knowledge, that truth you are. Okay? Now, Sarvakaram Sarvama Sarvam. Sarva nishedhavadhibhutam tat yat satyam shashvatam ekamanantam shuddham buddham tattvam asitvam sarvakaram sarvam asarvam sarva nisheda avadhibhutam yad satyam shashvatam ekam anantam shuddham buddham tattvam asitvam. Shuddham buddham tattvam asitvam, same. Okay, now sarvakaram, that which is yet sarvakaram, that which is of the nature of all the objects, of all forms. Akara means form. Sarvakaram, of all forms. Self is of all forms. We already said substratum, whatever is superimposed, not different from substratum. Therefore, the superimposed is of the nature of substratum. Therefore, there is all form. That is how we see it as not we are of all forms. That is not how you should see it. Because sarva means plurality, multiplicity. We don't accept multiplicity or plurality. We already said ekam, advitiyam, advaitam, etc. Okay. So that is why I keep repeating again and again. The Sarvatma Bhava, seeing yourself in everything. That's a stupid idea. You cannot see yourself to be everything or everything inside you. Because there is nothing other than self. Ekatma Bhava is the only possibility. Only self. No, nothing else. So, Sarvakaram. Sarva is a pronoun. That Sarvanama Shabda we call it. Inclusive of everything. That is not possible here. That is why he says, you are Sarvam. You are everything. I'm everything. Because nothing is different from the substratum. The superimposed is not different from the substratum. Therefore, you are everything. Oh, can I associate myself with everything? Asarvam. You are not everything. You are everything also, you are not everything also. Why? You are everything because whatever is superimposed is not different from substratum. You are not everything because there is nothing other than substratum. Okay? So, sarva nisheda avadhibhutam. When everything, not everything, this kind of negations. When you keep on negating, you have to come to an end. Normally, we come to an end of a darkness void. I already said when we start negating, I'm not the body, I'm not the prana, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm not the ignorance, also the darkness, the Anandamaya Kosha. Then what am I? Guruji, I only see darkness. That is what you will see. You don't see the person behind who sees the darkness. There should be a perceiver for the darkness, right? We can never negate everything absolutely like these idiots Buddhists think. It is impossible. Let us say there was this smart chemist. So by adding and subtracting multiple chemicals calculation, he found that there is a possibility of a chemical which can dissolve everything. You put that it will dissolve plastic. That's a great innovation, right? Something to dissolve, destroy completely, make it inexistent, non-existent. Plastic. That's a great. If you can find it, that's a great. It is not just end. It does not end there. Stone dissolves. Iron dissolves. Wood dissolves. Anything and everything in this world dissolves. Nothing can survive it. That's the kind of acid he created. Calculations. He goes to his boss, the senior scientist, and says, "Boss, I have found something great. This kind of this can dissolve everything. Nothing can survive it." Sit, son. He made him sit. He gave him a glass of water. Boss, drink. Okay. Now, okay, give me the vessel. What vessel? The one which you are drinking from. Oh, glass? Yeah, okay, give me. Okay. Was the water in the glass or the glass in the water? Was it okay? Water was in the glass. Okay, you understand that. Now, I understand the idea which you have presented to me. Now, in which vessel made of what will you keep this acid? Yes, that's a question. It dissolves everything. Where will you keep it? You cannot keep that in anything because it will dissolve that object also. So this kind of ideas cannot exist. There is a place called Badrinath in the Himalayas. Okay, Uttarakhand. If you go there is a place called Brahma Kapala. It's a stone where they'll do ancestral race. They'll give food, pinda we call it, ball, rice ball, and place it on that. It means it is directly given to the ancestors. That's the idea, belief. They go there and they do it. Now, what is the specialty of that stone? They say Brahmaji, the creator, sat on that stone and created. Where was that before the creation? That's a beautiful question. But the point is, he has to sit somewhere peacefully. So first he created the stone as a seat for him, then he created. You have to always see, even if you are going to cut everything with your knife, you will not cut your own existence, your own leg or your own land which you are standing on. You will not destroy that. Right? Similarly, you can negate na iti, nati, neti. You can negate everything, but not yourself. That is sarva nisheda. For all the negations, abadi bhutam. This is the limit. You are the limit. Satyam. You are the truth. You are the limit because you are the truth. Satyam means trikala badhyatam. You are someone who cannot be negated in all the 3 periods of time. Therefore, you cannot be negated. Shashvatam. Since you cannot be negated, you are eternal. Ekam. Because you are one. Only in duality there is a possibility of lesser and more. Now, there is no possibility of lesser and more. You are eternal one. Anantam. Since you are one, there is nothing else. You are the absolute. You are the one which is pervading everything. Everything is idea. You are the one who is pervading, omnipresent. Shuddham, Buddham. Therefore, you are pure. Therefore, you are knowledge. Therefore, you are the truth. That is what the Guru says now. Next. Nityananda Khandaikarasam Nishkalam Makriyam Mastavikaram Pratyaka Bhinnam Param Avyaktam Shuddham Buddham Tattvam Asitvam. Nitya Ananda Akhanda Ekarasam Nishkalam Akriyam Astavikaram Pratyaka Bhinnam Param Avyaktam Shuddham Buddham Tattvam Asitam. That we know now. Shuddham Buddham Tattvam Asitam. Truth, Shuddham, pure, truth, pure knowledge, truth you are. Okay? Let us keep that away. Nitya Ananda Akhanda Ekarasam. You are eternal bliss, changeless, one form. You are one changeless, eternal bliss. That's the idea. You are one changeless, eternal bliss. We have already explained that. Now, Nishkalam. Therefore, how can you be eternal bliss, changeless, eternal bliss? Because there is no kala, there is no limbs, there is no parts. Since there is no parts, there is no activity. Akriyam. Earlier he said Nishkalam, Nishkriyam. Now he says Nishkalam, Akriyam. And then he said Shantam. Now he says Astavikaram. That is how we interpreted. Shantam means peace. Now Astavikaram. Devoid of any transformation. Okay? So Pratyaka Bhinnam Param. That is supreme. Oh, don't look up. Why? Because supreme means it is not something in 7th heaven or something. Then what? Pratyaka Bhinnam, that which is not different from you. That is not different from yourself. Avyaktam, where do I see it? It is not manifest. It is subtle than the subtler. So, it is not a manifest. That pure knowledge, truth you are. Okay? Now, Tvam pratyasta ashesha vishesham Vyomev antarbahirapi purnam Brahmanandam param advaitam Shuddham buddham tattvamasitvam. Tvam pratyasta ashesha vishesham Vyoma iva antarbahir api purnam Brahma anandam param advaitam Shuddham buddham tattvam asitam. You are pure knowledge, truth. That is kept aside. Okay, now Tvam, you are. See, there is Tvam at the end and Tvam at the beginning. Now we are talking about the Tvam at the beginning. Tvam, you are. pratyasta ashesha vishesham. Vishesha means adjectives. Ashesha means complete. Asta means subsided. Pratyasta, completely subsided. Where there is no adjective possible, where all the adjectives have completely subsided. There is absence of adjectives. You are where there is absence of adjectives, because adjective means it differentiate something from something. There is nothing to be differentiated. Therefore, you are where all the adjectives come to rest. Vyoma iva antarbahirapi purnam. Like the space, ether. In the Shruti, it is said, Akashavat sarvagatascha nityaha, with reference to the self and space. It says, like the space, the self is eternal and it is omnipresent. It just an idea. We cannot say the self is this and that without referring to something to understand. To make you understand, it is said like this ether, like the space. Otherwise, space is also non-eternal. We have already seen that, right? So he says, like the space, internal space, external space. Is there any difference here? The space in the room, the space outside the room. Space is space. What is the difference there? Similarly, you are also devoid of internal external, means purna. You are absolute. You are absolute who is devoid of internality, externality, etc. There is no limitations in you. That Brahma, which is absolute bliss, param, advaitam. It is supreme and it is a non-dual. That you are. Shuddham, Buddham, etc. We know. Very good. Now, this is the important shloka. Listen carefully. Okay, listen carefully. Brahmaivaham Brahma nirgunam nirvikalpakam. Brahmaivaham aham Brahma nirgunam nirvikalpakam. Ityeva khandaya vritya tishta brahmani nishkriye. This is a teaching to be established in the non-dual self. Okay, for that reason, this is important. This is also important to understand the difference between this and something else. We'll see that. Brahma eva aham, aham Brahma. Nirgunam nirvikalpakam. Iti eva akhandaya vritya tishtha brahmani nishkriye. Now, when I broke it, you understand. Akhandaya, it is talking about Akhanda Akarvarti. No, it is not talking about Akhanda Akarvarti. Let me make it clear. There is no suspense needed here now. It is not talking about Akhanda Akarvarti. This is talking about something which is the important essence for gaining that Akhanda Akarvarti. Because here we are talking about a repetition, and we have already established Akhandakara Vritti cannot be repeated again and again. Akhandakara Vritti takes place once and over. Swapara Nivartya. Akhandakara Vritti is something which negates everything else and itself also. Okay, so listen to this. Brahmaiva aham. Brahman is I. Okay, Brahman is I. Aham nirgunam nirvikalpakam Brahma, and I am that characterless, attributeless, transformationless Brahman. Brahman is I am that Brahman. Simple. See, sometimes when we say, I know the president. You know the president? Yes, I know the president. But the president does not know me. So here that is not the case. I am the self. Self is me. So there is no change here. A equal to B. B is also equal to A. There is no doubt here. Sometimes these mathematicians say it's a common knowledge for us people, simple people. A equal to B, therefore B equal to A. But mathematicians will want that to prove that also. A equal to B, therefore B equal to A should also be proven. Otherwise, they won't accept. That's the craziness. Now, for us, there is no confusion here. A equal to B and B is also equal to A. Okay. This, what is this? Iti. This is a Akhandaya Vrittya. This kind of Akhandaya Vrittya. Akhanda Vritti, not Akhanda Akara Vritti. Remember, Akhanda means na khanda iti akhanda, that which is not divided, split. Vritti, thought function. A thought function which is not divided, split. But Akhandakara vritti also is the same, right? No, there is a difference. This thought function is not split or divided with some other thought function, whereas in Akhandakara vritti there is no possibility of any other thought function. You understand? Akhandakara vritti, with Akhandakara vritti there is nothing else. Even Akhandakara vritti cannot exist there. But with this vritti, there is a possibility of other vritti. Akhandaya vrittya, with a unsplit, undivided, meaning focused. With focus, you have to meditate on this. This is the Nididhyasana. I am the self, self is I. Without bringing in anything, the salt, pepper, etc. I told you, the world, you should not bring in. That is why Vairagya is important. The strength to dismiss the results here and hereafter. Iha mutrartha phala bhoga viraga, vairagya, that is vairagya. The strength to dismiss the results that is possibly gained here or hereafter. Or even if something comes in front of you, that should be dismissed also. That strength. So there is no thought function which enters this process and disturbs it. So you are focused because your mind is not attracted to the world. So that focused thought function of I am the self and self I am. So that is a vrittya eva. Only through this vritti, nishkriye brahmani tishta. With this vritti alone, be established. Tishta means be established. That's a rule. That's order. Be established. In what? Nishkriya Brahmani. In the Brahman, in the self, Brahmani. In the Brahman, in the self. Seventh case. In the self, which is a Nishkriya, devoid of any activities. Be established in the self, which is devoid of any activities, with only this activity. What is that? I am the self and the self I am. Okay, we'll see this. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.